Hello and welcome to the SHU Sports Report. With Diana Cannizzaro, I'm Frank DeZenzo, and it's a huge week for the Pioneers in basketball. Tonight, the men play in the NEC quarterfinals against LIU Brooklyn. Are you going to check out that game?
Of course I'm checking out that game. Can't wait to see what they're going to bring to the court today. Kane Broom, Player of the Year. It's going to be an intense atmosphere. Everyone come out and check it out. Support Coach Latina.
Agreed upon.
Let's go where it's hot. As we said, big news from the Northeast Conference yesterday. Like he's been doing all season, Kane Broom made history again, becoming the first Pioneer in program history to be named NEC Player of the Year. Quincy McKnight, who was named NEC Rookie of the Week 5 times this season, earned all rookie accolades. In last week of the season, the Sacred Heart men's basketball team had 2 very important games to clinch a top 4 seed in the NEC tournament. First, they faced Robert Morris last Thursday on Coach by Court, where the Colonials added a lot of defensive pressure since SHU last saw them. Let's see what happened. Broom fires to Boyevats. He takes the corner 3 and nails it. Then Broom again drives it up the middle for an easy layup, 17-9 Robert Morris. Then Pryor with the step-back jumper to give them a 10-point lead. Allen kicks it out to Mike Hone. He knocks it deep from the corner for 3. Robert Morris still up by 4. Then Isaiah Still to break the tie. Then Pryor with the 3, 32-28, Robert Morris. Broom fires his way through the paint. Robinson gets a steal, passes to Allen, and he gets it to Edagoko underneath. He fakes it to Broom, and Broom fires it in.
Broom is their just main asset of scoring. It's great for the Pioneers to have such a player like that.
Yeah, so final score 73-63 Robert Morris. Then on Saturday, the Pioneers hosted St. Francis University, who put up a tough fight, but Coach Latina did a great job keeping his team focused on overcoming the battle. Let's jump in and show you how the Pioneers got through this one. First half, SHU up by 2. Quincy McKnight gets it in. Junior guard Georgios Angelo with the 3 to tie the game. Then Jamal King gets it in from underneath. Josh Nebo is going to go for the dunk, but Chris Robinson with a huge block. Then Mate Boyevats hits a 3. Kane Broom make that one look easy. Now, second half, SHU ahead, 3-way pass, and Falzone will get it in off the glass. St. Francis knocks in the 3. Broom to Boyevats and gives a 3 right back. SFU is going to fire it down the middle for the layup. Angelo, another from the outside for a 3. Broom gets the steal, fires down, he reads the pass, hands it to Robinson for the layup. Sacred Heart won 88-78, clinching the number 3 seed for its first quarterfinal home game since 2009. The men will face LIU Brooklyn tonight at 7 p.m. in the Pitt Center. Be sure to go check it out and support the men's basketball team.
Now let's move over to the update quarter, where Taylor's got her first taste of the spring. Taylor?
Thanks, Frank. Before we get to spring, we need to talk about Equestrian. This weekend, Noelle Biancoli accomplished something no other Sacred Heart Western rider has. The senior edged out UConn's Danielle Brainard in the final competition of the season to be the regional high point rider. The honor punched Biancoli's ticket to the IHSA National Championship to represent Zone 1. Along with her individual accomplishment, she led the Pioneers to their second straight Western Regional title, qualifying for the IHA National Semifinals. On the hunt seat side, Melissa Dander, Lauren Mahoney, and Devin Conley all qualified for the Regional Championship in their individual events as SHU finished second up at UConn. Now moving on to baseball, the reigning NEC champion SHU baseball team started out the 2016 campaign in Texas against Stephen F. Austin, who swept the 3-game series. The Pioneers played well in the first game, going into the bottom of the 6th with a 4-2 lead after two 2-run homers from Victor Sorrento and Dan Schock. However, a 5-run inning propelled the Lumberjacks to a 7-5 win. In the second game, it was heartbreak for Sacred Heart, who lost on a 3-run walk-off home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. After 2 tight losses, the Pioneers lost steam in a 15-1 defeat on Sunday to close out the series, with Sorrento driving in the only SHU run. Sorrento finished the weekend 8 for 13 with 7 RBIs. Sacred Heart will go back down south for a 7-game road trip that starts at Louisiana Lafayette on Friday. The Pioneers softball team was down at Florida Gulf Coast this past weekend for the Battle at the Beach, which featured 2 games against Oakland and 3 games with the Eagles. On the first day, Sacred Heart lost a close one to the Golden Grizzlies 7-5, and then immediately after struggled with FGCU, falling by a score of 8-0. The next day, Sacred Heart avenged the loss to Oakland to win their first game of the season 4-1. Unfortunately, trouble continued with the Eagles in an afternoon 7-6 loss. In the finale of the Battle at the Beach, FGCU completed the sweep of the Pioneers in a 1-0 loss, despite a brilliant performance from rookie Emily Orozco, who struck out 12 batters in her collegiate debut and allowed just 1 run and 3 hits over 6 innings of work. Next up, SHU will make their annual trip to Florida for the 2016 Rebel Games. We'll have more from the Update Corner later on. For now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Taylor. Now, the Sacred Heart women's basketball team took on St. Francis last Saturday at the Pitt Center. Emotions from the pregame senior day ceremony may have lingered through the first half as the Pioneers found themselves down 38-31 at the break. Let's see if they had enough in them to complete this epic comeback. Going up against the Red Flash, the Pioneers took to the court. Here, Katie Reed is going to open up the scoring with a 3 from the outside, putting SFU up 3. Now another 3 will keep them up 6 here as St. Francis opens up hot. Etienne here under the basket. That's going to be N1 for her. Then here, a steal by Takira Kara. That's going to be 2 points on the fast break. Kimmel to Castro. 3 balls good there. SHU catching up. Then a 3 ball from Shelby Hickey and 1 from the outside. A fast break here. Adacia Williams to Kelsey Castro. There's another N1 on the day. They're pumped up on that. Outside again, great ball movement, finding Kimmel in the corner for a 3. Then yet again, Kimmel outside for another 3. SHU up by 12 there. Williams is going to fire here to put them back up 3. Pioneers is going to win this one 80-67. Now on Monday, the Pioneers travel to Maryland to take on Mount St. Mary's at the Knott Arena in the regular season final. Hannah Kimmel netted 21 for her 3rd straight 20-plus game, but would it be enough to defeat the Mountaineers? Let's check it out as Sacred Heart versus the Mount St. Mary Mountaineers here. Straight to the Knott Arena where Kayla Bates is going to open this one up from the outside. 3-pointer is good there. Then ensuing Mount possession off the rebound. Cates is going to find it again. There's 2 more for her. SHU's going to find themselves down here until Kimmel to Adacia Williams. 2 points is good there. Now,
She's going to run. Oh,
back to the Mountaineers. There's a 3 ball for Stacy Cortris, and SHU is going to eventually find themselves up by 1 for the first time in the game as Shelby Hickey hits a 3 from the corner. Then Arthur Williams is going to go to Kayla Bates again here on the pass. 2 points there for Bates again. Kimmel is basically going to put the dagger in this one from the corner. 3-pointer, good. Sacred Heart wins that one 60-52. Saturday's win clinched the top seed in the year's NEC tournament for the women's basketball team. And joining us now to share her excitement is head coach Jessica Minetti. Let's throw it over to Taylor, who's pulling double duty today in the Coach's Corner.
Thanks, Frank, and thank you, Coach Minetti, for joining us. You must be excited. NEC regular season champs. How does that feel?
Feels great. I'm so proud of the team. They've worked so hard.
Yeah, and going back to the start of NEC play, lost to Robert Morris, trailed by almost 30 points in the game. Are you surprised that you guys made it all the way back and became NEC champs?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I'm really proud and excited. I think that we battled a really tough non-conference schedule at 2-9. We opened up the conference season and we tried to pull really positive things away from our Robert Morris loss. I think we had the most assists we had tallied the entire season in that game. We shared the ball well. We rebounded better. So looking back, I'm really excited that we were able to get a win at St. Francis and then keep it rolling. And that was all the team. It was all them. They put their minds to it and they did it.
Yeah. And Hannah Kimmel, another NEC Player of the Week this week. Can you make a case for her as NEC Player of the Year?
Yeah, I mean, the case for her is pretty easy in my mind. She is the most talented player on the floor at all times. She makes her teammates better. She has driven our bus, really, to get to this championship season that we've been having. So her stats are phenomenal. She's leading the league in three-point field goal percentage. She is top 5 in scoring, top 5 in rebounding, I think top 2 in defensive rebounding. She leads our team in all statistical categories. I think she's doing a phenomenal job. To me, she's undoubtedly the Player of the Year.
Okay, and then some of the other players on your team, you have a lot of cogs in the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about how Alyssa Tarsi and Kelsey Castro have really grown and improved this year?
Yeah, well, I got to give a big shout out to my assistant coaches. They do a ton of off-season development with them, and in our off-season, Coach Ingersoll actually has really worked with our post players, and he's done a tremendous job developing them into what you see today, which are 2 kids, Alyssa Tarsi and Lorraine Etienne, who have been huge presences for us on the floor and have really opened up our inside-out game. So big shout out to them. I think Alyssa's development she's always had it in her. Every season she starts really, really strong, and I think the confidence and her ability this year as a senior to know what she needs to do and step on the floor and just consistently do it, she's been a phenomenal addition to us for our offensive efficiency this year. And then obviously Kelsey Castro, she was out last year. She hurt her back. She was sidelined for 8 months. She was in my office crying about how bad she wanted to get back on the floor. She's finally back on the floor, and she's doing all the things that we knew she was capable of doing. Her journey has been a really, really interesting one. She started committing to a different school, was a non-qualifier, had to go to junior college, was committed to a different school out of junior college. That coaching staff had a change, and then I got a phone call from her coach at ASA. Do you love Kelsey? Do you want her? And I'm like, yes, I want her. So she came, and she's a phenomenal shooter. I mean, just finds a way to get it done and works really hard, and she's our little worker bee. So it's been really fun to see her development, and kind of everybody. I give credit to everybody on the team. They all embrace their roles, and they really, really thrive.
Okay, and you are the #1 seed in the NEC tournament. You know, the path to the NCAA March Madness goes through Sacred Heart. You play a team that you played in the final regular season game of the season in the postseason. How do you prepare differently for that game?
I think the mentality is we just have to do what we do and keep it focused on us. Playoffs are a whole different animal, you know. There's such a heightened emotion. There's such a heightened consequence for everything that goes wrong. But to be honest with you, it's the team that plays the best basketball that they're capable of playing the way they play it for 40 minutes. That's the team that's going to win. And we're going to be prepared. We're going to prepare for what Mount might throw at us, some different things. Fortunately, we got to play them 2 days ago. So having to play a team kind of with 6 days in between, you're going to prepare, but you know what's coming. And I think they know what's coming. So it's really going to be who's going to fight for 40 minutes, who's going to want it more, and anything can happen. But hopefully we'll get the win and we'll keep advancing.
Yeah, definitely. We're excited for that game Sunday at 1 o'clock in the Pitt Center. Coach Mitty, a pleasure having you here as always.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been great. Thanks, Taylor.
All right. Good luck on Sunday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you again, Taylor, and thank you, Coach. So, Diana, let's get into more Pioneer sports.
Let's do it. Moving on to lacrosse from this past weekend for a double dose of Pioneer action. Sacred Heart traveled across the country to Denver, Colorado for the Face-Off Classic at the Peter Barton Lacrosse Stadium. Sacred Heart started the weekend with a matchup against the top-ranked team in the country, the Denver Pioneers, who took a heavy lead going into halftime, up 11-2. Sacred Heart was able to regain some momentum in the third quarter, outscoring Denver 4-1 with goals scored by Alex Doss's Julian Garitano, Brian Massey, and Joe Zagassi to cut Denver's lead by 6 going into the fourth. Despite the good effort, Sacred Heart couldn't pull through, and Denver outscored the Pioneers to make the final score 18-7. Sacred Heart then battled the Air Force Falcons Sunday. Alex Doss recorded a career high of 5 points and tied his personal best netting goal netting 4 goals. In the first quarter, Sacred Heart outshot Air Force 10-5, where Brian Massey scored his 5th goal of the season. But the Falcons held an early advantage 4-2 at the end of the quarter. Early in the second, SHU fought off 2 extra man opportunities. The Pioneers were able to get 12 shots in the second quarter, but 4 were saved, making the score 5-3 at the half with Air Force on top. The game got competitive in the third and fourth quarters. Both teams had 31 shots. The Falcons goalie Doug Guccio had 8 saves, while the Pioneers' A.J. Boyd had just 6, giving Air Force the 13-10 win over Sacred Heart. Alex Dodge had 3 points on 2 goals and an assist, while Matt Posh, Joe Zagassi, and Bryce Jerk each had a goal and an assist. Zagassi's efforts earned him his second NEC Rookie of the Week award. Be sure to check out the Pioneers as they return back to Campus Field on Saturday, March 5th to face Providence College at noon. So we've heard about men's lacrosse, but how did the women do, Taylor? Let's check it out.
Well, Diana, the Pioneers suffered a tough 13-10 loss to the Iona Gales to wrap up a season-opening road trip at 1-2. SHU finished the game on a 3-0 run to cut the deficit to just 3, but the comeback fell short. Caitlin Delaney, the NEC Defensive Player of the Week, finished the game with 3 goals and an assist. The Pioneers will host their home opener this afternoon at 3 p.m. against crosstown rival Fairfield. Men's volleyball had their 2-game winning streak snapped by the NJIT Highlanders on Friday night. Chris DeLucy did everything he could with a career-high 27 kills in their 5-set thriller, while Joshua Eisenberg and Taylor Bloomquist also set a new career high, leading all players with 17 digs and 6 block assists, respectively. SHU then dropped another conference tilt on Saturday in 4 tight sets at Princeton, dropping to 3-1 in EIVA play. Again, it was DeLucy leading the way with 16 kills. The Pioneers have a shot to bring their conference record back over 500 when they play at Harvard on Saturday. It was tough going for the men's tennis team against the 38th-ranked Dartmouth Big Green on Saturday, who swept SHU 7-0. Matthew Pelote-Schranen and Corey Seltman nearly put a point on board for the Sacred Heart in second doubles, but fell 7-6 after forcing a tiebreaker. SHU will rest up before their spring break trip to Puerto Rico, where they'll try to end a 3-match losing streak against the University of Puerto Rico on March 8th. At the New England Championships, 9 Pioneers from the men's and women's track and field squad earned all New England honors, led by Trevor Guerrera's gold medal and school record in the 1,000 meters. Sean Ferguson, Kayla Lawrence, Selena Sampiri, and the women's 4x400 meter relay team also broke school records, with Alexander Caselin joining Ferguson in winning a medal. 11 Pioneers have qualified for the IC4A ECAC Championships, which will take place back up at Boston University this weekend, beginning on Friday. That's all we've got for the Update Corner. We'll have more for you guys next week.
Good stuff, Taylor. Now over to men's ice hockey, where they had a rough weekend as they fell to drop both games of a 2-game series to Holy Cross. For Friday's home game, the Pioneers fell to the Crusaders 5-2. Holy Cross came out scoring just 40 seconds into the game and never looked back. Although it was a tough loss at home for the Pioneers, they were able to honor the 4 graduating seniors, Jacob Brightbill, Zach Lusick, Jake Lines, and Josh Phillips. When it comes to Saturday's game, it didn't get much better for the Pioneers. They traveled to Worcester, which resulted in a 3-0 defeat. Even though Sacred Heart outshot the Crusaders 28-24, they were unable to net 1 in the tough defeat.
Thanks, Frank. And that's your recap of the week that was in Pioneer Athletics. Don't forget to come out tonight and cheer on your Pioneers as the men take on the Blackbirds of LIU in the NEC quarterfinals. For Taylor Krimmel, Frank DeZenzo, I'm Diana Canizaro, and we'll see you next week.